DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest.
Welcome to DarkDox Digest. Today is January 21st, 2025, and it is a new America. I'm your host, Christian Coffins. All right. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed your inauguration day. My name is Christian Coffins, and I dressed up in the purple because it's all about bringing together the blue and the red to have a beautiful America. You've never seen an America like we're going to have today. I am live from SeaWorld once more here in Orlando, Florida, and got a lot to cover today. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but first... infamous DC gulag dungeon keepers defied Trump's pardon of January 6 hostages and refused to release prisoners 5 hours after federal marshals stormed the building to enforce Trump's lawful order. This was just posted at 6:39 p.m. I haven't even...
Federal bureaucrats, the federal police that are in control of the famous D.C. gulag have been refusing since last night to release 20 J6 political prisoners, hostages of the corrupt Democratic Party war on America. And now, hours and hours ago, Trump sent a bunch of federal marshals in to try to get them out. And now the reporters on the ground are being told, and members of Congress that have investigated are being told, they're claiming red tape because the bureaucrat that's supposed to be there, who has to rubber stamp releasing prisoners, isn't there. Well, you have the head executive, the president, with a televised pardon. You get them, you give them, you release them. But this is a perfect example of the national polls. There's been several of them that have come out where upwards of 50+% of federal bureaucrats that have been asked the question, will you try to sabotage Trump and the voters' will? And they say, yes, we are going to try to sabotage what Trump's doing. Well, this is a mission for Elon Musk, Department of Government Efficiency. They need to be fired. The vast majority, as you know, of federal employees admit they don't even go to work once a week. It's just a few times a month. These people are out of control, and they are destroying our nation. Jan 6 was a Fedsurrection. It was a setup. The FBI director has now admitted that he lied when he said there were no feds in the crowd. We know they were there. They started it. They attacked the peaceful crowd. Then they waved at everybody else so they could set them up. It is truly disgusting. And the stories I've heard from the D.C. gulag and the cockroaches and the filth, it is one of the worst facilities on earth, and it's emblematic of the incredible corruption we're dealing with. And upwards of a third of the Justice Department resources in the last 4 years have been used to persecute J6ers and set them up in the D.C. courts with 97% Democrats, railroading everyone. And don't forget, yesterday's pardons of the J6ers, 1,500 plus, was not the only pardons. Joe Biden pardoned the J6 committee that was an illegal committee that got caught creating and falsifying evidence and witness tampering, witness coaching, and then they destroyed the entire record of their, quote, fake J6 investigation that was really a draft of all the evidence of how they staged it with Nancy Pelosi and others and refused Trump the National Guard that he asked for ahead of the event. Ladies and gentlemen, J6 is bigger than just the innocent people that were railroaded, and that's important. It was designed to declare the American people that support Trump as terrorists, that they needed to demolish the MAGA movement. Well, instead, we're constitutionally, legally, and lawfully demolishing them. But this is just a prelude of the bureaucratic sabotage going on at every level to stop this nation coming back. They want the Great Reset, a collapse to control us, Cloward and pivot strategy. And Trump says, no, the golden era is here. We are going to do incredible things. We're going to blast our way out of this debt with the one thing that'll stop it, and that is massive growth. We'll continue to watch this development, but they need to fire the administrators and the bureaucrats that are arrogantly defying Trump. This isn't 8 years ago when Trump didn't know what he was getting into, as he said. He knows what's going on. He's putting in the right people. He needs to make an example like Reagan did, firing the air traffic controllers when they went on strike. He needs to fire the asses of these people and send them a very strong message, just like he sent a message to the world with an unconditional across-the-board pardon because the whole thing was a fraud and a setup. And you can look at each trial and each case, and we have, and there was no seditious conspiracy. There was no pre-plan. Nobody brought guns. There was no plan. I knew the Proud Boys well. I knew Oath Keepers well. And they were worried about Antifa attacking them and were there for defensive reasons. And instead, Antifa posed as the Patriots and got basically a giant bar fight going so that some people would be sucked into it. So we'll continue to break all this down, but this is an exciting time to be alive. Day 2 of the new golden era of America isn't even over yet, and Trump is doing so much. Great job, America, for waking up and not submitting to the leftist bullies. The trance is broken. The spell is broken. And now, the long, hard fight to restore our republic has just begun, but we have the initiative, and we are winning.
You gotta love it. I wonder, did he get the purple suit before yesterday or after? He looks good. Doesn't Alex look great? I mean, hell's bells. That guy is working out extra hard and also taking supplements from thealexjonesstore.com, which is one of our affiliates. So if you go to thealexjonesstore.com/DarkDox and you order anything, I get 10%, and it really helps out our operation. So they got all kinds of fun stuff. In fact, hold on, I got to show you guys something. 1 second here. I'm going to go off camera to go grab something. Oh, there we go. Old man sounds. And I'm back. All right. And I'm off. There we go. Something like that. Awesome. So, this finally came in the mail, and you can't really see it that well because he's green. This is the Alex Jones dressing up like the frog. So he has a frog helmet on a frog. And it's the softest animal, and it says, save the frogs, realalexjones.com, with a little frog on there. And this is really one of the nicest stuffed animals I've ever gotten. And it came with a free Infowars hat. They're no longer doing that, but they are always running specials. I'm part of the VIP program, so that's $30 a month. I actually pay $30 a month, and then they give me $40 in store credits. You could do it too. Just join the VIP club as part of your checkout when you're ordering something else. And they got all kinds of fun stuff. Atomic Defense is their new, got sea moss, echinacea, cumin powder, honey powder, biopurine. And then we got the Trump Battle for the Republic silver coins. Those are $100. They're a fundraiser. It's about $40 or so worth of silver. But it's to help out the Infowar. It has Trump on there, with a bloody face, fight, fight, fight. They still got the 1776 Liberators. It says Trump Victory 2024, fight, fight, fight. Got the Skull Crusher. Got the brass knuckles on there. It's a mean knife. The CMOS capsules are still on. The gummies are out of stock currently. But yeah, the capsules are twice as strong. I noticed in the new gummies, I like them, but they're a little bit larger and they taste like cinnamon, where the first ones did not. So I'm curious what cinnamon's good for you. So, but I really, there was more of a juicy fruit thing going on in the first one. So I'm going to be giving you guys honest reviews of all of these products as I'm doing them. from the Infowarsstore.com, which I'm not affiliated with. They have the X2 that's 50% off. It's only $19.95, which is a really good deal because it's like 600 doses. You only took like 2 tiny drops of this iodine. I was taking too much, and I was like, oh, I thought it was 2 droppers, and I was only taking a quarter dropper, but that's like 8 drops. That's a lot of iodine. So their stuff is really strong, and it works very well. Yeah, so what else we got going on here? I need to turn this desktop audio back on. And this is breaking. Ross Ulbright receives full pardon from Donald Trump, calls double life sentence ridiculous. This is from CryptoSlate.com. The founder of Silk Road Dark Web Marketplace has been granted a full and unconditional pardon by former president, by President Donald Trump. When did they post this? This was posted. Well, that's weird. It was posted tomorrow, January 22nd, 2020. Is he not going to be the president tomorrow? Are they from the future? What is going on? You see this? I'm not crazy. Today is the 21st. And News Desk covered it tomorrow at noon. This is very odd. So yeah, the move brings an end to Albright's life sentence, a punishment he received for creating and operating Silk Road, an online platform infamous for facilitating illegal activities. The pardon, viewed as a life-saving decision for Albright, comes as a significant relief to his supporters and many in the crypto community who have long advocated for his release. And then they want us to do things for them to, screw all of you websites that do this. DarkDox will never have this, I promise you. When we're back up and we're working on it. I know I keep saying it, but hey, life, it's more important for me to do these and make money and do all the other things I need to do than, just have a functioning WordPress. But it's in the works. And every time I say it, the people in the chat are going to be like, oh, all right. You miss Alex on YouTube, Howard G. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm doing here, until they kick me off. I'm sharing 10 hours of band.video all clumped into 1 hour and sometimes longer on here. But it's good to see you, Cosmic Ellie, Miss Lightning, Rutrow Media. It's good to see all of you. Thank you for showing up. It means a lot to me to see you in that chat. What else we got going on here? Yes. This is more great news. Former January 6th hostage leader of the Proud Boys, Enrique Tarrio, joins Infowars for first interview after release from political captivity by Donald Trump. I don't like the wording of that because it makes it sound like he was in political captivity by Donald Trump, but he was released by Donald Trump. That captivity was done by Joe Biden. So let's a little snippet of that. All these links for everything I cover here are in the description.
Well, first and foremost, Alex, I want to thank God because through Him all things are possible, and just sitting here is a testament to that. Second, I'd like to thank my family, starting with my mother and my fiance. They've been a solid rock in this situation. My family has been super supportive. Third, my friends and my brotherhood who have unapologetically supported me through this whole thing. And fourth, I'd like to thank again President Donald J. Trump for helping us through these difficult times and releasing me, Joe Biggs, Ethan Nordine, Zachary Rell, and Dominic Pizzola, right? And all the J6ers. We went through hell, and I'm going to tell you, it was worth it. Because what we stood for and what those guys stood for was what we've been fighting for and what we saw yesterday on the inauguration stage. I can't tell you it's been easy, but I will tell you, it's been worth it. And Alex, I mean, everything that they concocted, even you, everything that they concocted against you. I mean, we see how this system could be weaponized, and we need people like Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and the rest of Trump's cabinet to right all these wrongs. I'm happy in my heart. I love what's transpired in the past just couple hours, and there's a couple J6ers that are still in prison that are waiting to be released. You know, I have no words. I'm still trying to process this new reality, this beautiful reality where freedom was given back to me. My life was given back to me. 22 years is not a short sentence. That's the rest of my life. So Trump literally gave me my life back.
The government fears.
I did it again. I was just saying, you can watch that full interview over there at Infowars or band.video. I watched it earlier today, and it's very touching. You know, I actually met Enrique a couple of years ago. How long ago? 3 years ago. This was a protest for Joe Biggs to be released over in Sanford. A little flashback over here. Here today to Seminole County in front of the courthouse.
So lately we've been doing a lot of Free the Political Prisoners rallies across the state and across the country, and we want to start focusing on individuals, right? So like 2 weeks ago we did an event for a brother of ours. His name's Christopher Worrell. The justice system, the injustice system has denied him access to his cancer medication. And then today, we're specifically coming out here to show support for Joe Biggs, two-time Purple Heart recipient, combat veteran, the greatest guy that you could ever meet, my best friend. And we're going to continue. We want to inspire for more people to come out and do this more on a focused basis with these prisoners, with these political prisoners.
Awesome. And RWDS, what does that stand for?
It stands for Right Wing Death Squad.
Right Wing Death Squad, very good. And we're going to be getting a lot of questions about why are the Proud Boys wearing masks? Are they afraid of COVID? Or do they have something to hide? Or they look more like Antifa? Well, what's your response to stuff like that?
So what we're doing is we're changing the battlefield.
Okay.
Right? We need to be very objective in what tactics work and what tactics don't.
Uh-huh.
We've never been scared of who we are. We've never been scared of our values, but we are tradesmen, right? Most of us are business owners, plumbers, carpenters. Some of us work 9 to 5. So after January 6th, we noticed that there's a problem. There's a problem with the left doxing us and making us lose our jobs, our families, our houses.
Right.
You know, I'm not exaggerating here. These are real
Absolutely.
things that happen.
Yeah.
So we've noticed that we could still be effective even if we're covered up. See, like me, I can't cover up no matter what because I'm the face of the organization. But of a lot of our guys, mainly the people that you see with masks on, are family members.
Right.
They're out here supporting and practicing their First Amendment right. It is kind of sad.
Right.
We have to do that. But
it's almost counterintuitive to the name. You're the Proud Boys, but yet you can't, in this quote-unquote free country, be proud of what you're doing because we're being attacked from all fronts. If you have an opposing view to the left and all of their ideologies.
So our ideologies will never change.
Right.
But one thing that has changed, and I think your viewers are not going to disagree with me on this, is the fact that the political climate has changed.
Right.
So we're adjusting to that political climate and the way that we fight back and the way that we
So there you go. You can watch the full video over there at youtube.com/sacred owls. It's a very interesting interview. It was a great day in Sanford, and it's a shame that after all of that, then they put him in jail and, just took him to 60 different jails and prisons all over the U.S., along with so many others. And the good thing is this is a new America. That's why I called today's episode that we are not in that oppressive climate anymore. And anybody that is trying to silence you or trying to, call you a Nazi or call you all of these things, like, we're done with that. We're done with all of this woke, snowflake, can't say, what you really mean. We've been right about everything. We were right about COVID. We were right about the lockdowns. We were right about the masks. We were right about January 6th. We were right about Trump. We were right about China and Wuhan. We were right about everything. And when I say we, I'm including, of course, Alex Jones, Infowars. We've been exposing since 9/11/2001, the 7/7 bombings in London, the Iraq War afterwards. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. The World Economic Forum, the New World Order, the Bilderberg Group, the Bohemian Grove. Like, we've been covering all of this stuff for 20 years. Alex has been covering it for 31 now. He started doing all this stuff when I was 11. So we are on the right side and we are winning. And Trump is our guy. He's not perfect. Neither are you, asshole. Neither am I, asshole. All right? So, and neither is Elon, and we're going to get to him in a little bit. But, neither is Enrique, but I met him. I'm proud to know him. He's a really nice guy. So if you are interested in helping this guy out, here's his Gibson Go. Tarrio, Tarrio Family 2024. And he was talking about this on the show. And just to give you an idea of some of the torture that has been going on with these J6 people, this is what they do to you anytime they move you anywhere.
And a ready to cuff position. You want to be in the ready to cuff position. So the black dot on the cylinder is aligning with the green dot on the shell for both cuffs. This allows you to spin them. You want the inmate's arms over and under like that. We're going to have both cylinders facing in the same direction with the double strand out towards you. Both cylinders are in the same direction. Then we want to deadbolt them so they can't be shimmed. You take your key, you put it in the cuff, and you rotate it towards the red position, and you wiggle your key to get it out. And you do that on both cuffs. They're now deadbolted, and they can't be shimmed. The orange transport box has two holes. One's for Smith & Wesson, and one's for Peerless. These are Peerless that are on him now. We're going to use the holes that are closest to the slot, and we want the slot closest to the body. This way the chain won't have much gap. And if he fights you, ask him to cooperate. You're going to take the clip, slide it on, and you can see the slot is closest to his chest. There are two ways to do the chain. One, you feed the chain through. You take the long length, you slide it through one of the other lengths, and then through the slot. Take the padlock, make sure it's in the ready to lock position, you slide it through, you lock it, keys out.
It's just despicable. People that didn't even enter the Capitol. Enrique wasn't even there in D.C. on January 6th. but because of an unspoken conspiracy between the Proud Boys to overthrow the U.S. government, he has spent the last 2.5, 3 years in prison. With like I said, they moved him. They call it the diesel treatment. They move you from jail to jail to jail. So what you're looking at is what they do every time they move you from place to place. And he was saying that, with these apparatuses, it like bends your bones in your arms and stuff. And it's a type of torture. So here's the Gibson Go for J6 rebuilds. They're raising funds for people to get back on their feet. Here's a little bit of
the January 6 political prisoners are on the verge of being miraculously saved when President Trump pardons them all on January 20th, 2025. But their journey home will be a long road as they struggle to rebuild broken lives and resettle into society with nothing to their names. After enduring 4 years of persecution and imprisonment, these patriotic hostages have lost everything. Many are now homeless, having lost their homes and life savings. Families are devastated, with cars repossessed, generational businesses destroyed, and financial ruin leaving them destitute. That's why these POWs desperately need support through the J6 Life Rebuilding Fundraiser. With generous donations, we can provide basic necessities like first month's rent, cell phones, clothing, and groceries to help them resettle into society. This vital fundraiser, led by Jake Lang, a January 6 political prisoner who has suffered over 900 days of solitary confinement, has already helped over 50 patriots with legal assistance. These broken men need a helping hand to rebuild their lives, and we must be the light at the end of the tunnel for them. By contributing, you can ensure no J6 patriot steps out of prison alone and empty-handed. Volunteers will provide supplies to help every J6er settle into a new life. Please donate today to make a life-changing impact on a J6 hero. Visit j6rebuild.com to become a resettlement sponsor and bring hope to these liberated prisoners.
What makes me sick is that we even have to do this for the J6 political prisoners because we did so much more for illegal aliens that came into the country illegally. Like, they're given credit cards, hotel rooms, food, I mean, you name it. Airplane tickets, but yet we have to set up GoFundMe for soccer moms that just wanted to go to the Capitol because the president said, I need your help, I need your support. They're trying to they did steal the election. The election was stolen. But people that didn't even enter the Capitol on that day, people that didn't even deal with the law enforcement, people that weren't even there, like Enrique. It's disgusting. Meanwhile, Los Angeles Times, LA is still on fire. Live LA fire updates. Rain in the forecast could cut back on wildfire risks in Southern California. 2 hours ago, AI, drone sensors, technology, blah, blah, no, okay, no. Let's see. The fire was 63% contained as of Tuesday afternoon. That's interesting, a little 7 there. It has burned more than 23,700 acres. I wanted to cover a little bit of this because I'm not seeing anything from the mainstream media. It's all about the inauguration and World Economic Forum over at Davos. Okay, so I don't see this chat. I do see this chat. I just can't say I can't type right now because I'm on this. Who is this Kramos? Yes, I answer here. I speak unless there's a little thing going, a little video for you. The Palisades fire, lives lost. Officials have confirmed that 11 people are dead from the Palisades fire. So far, 6,380 structures have been destroyed and 857 damaged. Evacuation. Some mandatory evacuation zones have been reopened to residents. Details there. Go to URL. residents must bring a valid photo ID, but not to vote. I digress. Eaton fire. The fire was 89% contained as of Tuesday. Okay. It has burned more than 14,000 acres. 9,418 structures have been destroyed and 1,071 damaged. 17 dead from Eaton. Yeah. It's just a crying shame. Meanwhile, we got a communist mayor running things over there, and this is all part of their plan. They did the same thing in Hawaii. Build back better. First pardon January 6th riot. Political prisoners. That's another thing. Trump has to do something about this misinformation of calling them rioters. But I guess it's their right to lie. Just like, it's our right to cover them lying and call them fucking scumbags. But let's see what this douchebag has
Trump's
to say.
first day in office. Unprecedented
Good
scope
morning,
of
America.
actions. The president signed a number of executive actions ranging from pardoning the January 6th rioters. He declared a national emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border, suggested we would be facing 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada, also withdrew the United States from the World Health Organization and climate change accords. We have team coverage starting with Chief White House Correspondent Mary Bruce. Good morning, Mary.
George, good morning. Well, it is clear that we are in a whole new era. President Trump declaring his inauguration Liberation Day and immediately getting to work with a remarkable show of the use of executive power, granting blanket pardons to virtually everyone charged or convicted on January 6th and moving quickly to undo the agenda of his predecessor. Trump promising to usher in a golden age for the country. Overnight, with the stroke of a pen, President Trump moving swiftly and aggressively to make good on his campaign promises, issuing sweeping pardons to nearly all of the rioters charged for their actions on January 6th.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon. Yes. Full pardon.
The full, complete, and unconditional pardons include the former leader of the far-right group the Proud Boys, Enrique Tarrio, sentenced to 22 years for sedition. Trump also commuting the sentences of 14 others charged with sedition, including Stuart Rhodes, founder of the Oath Keepers militia, sentenced to 18 years.
Oath Keepers is not a militia,
more than
cunt.
600 people charged with assaulting or resisting law enforcement. Rioters on January 6th attacking police using everything from shields to flagpoles.
The cops started it.
Cattle prods. The day after the attack, Trump with this promise.
To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
But now, instead, he is reversing years of efforts to bring accountability for the attack.
Oh, what bullshit. They did, innocent people did pay, and you just gotta release them all. It can't be a case-by-case basis. These people make me sick. They make me disgusted to my fucking stomach. Fuck you, ABC News, you commie fucking pieces of shit. Oh. Times of India. Donald Trump's second term. Full list of executive orders signed on day one of presidency. Let's see what we got. Rescind Biden administration orders revocation of 78 executive orders from the previous administration targeting policies on climate change, racial equity, ethics, and immigration. Ending birthright citizenship, barred citizenship for children born in the U.S. to undocumented immigrants or temporary visa holders. Apparently, we're like the only country in the world that does that in the first place. So, bye. And I am a son of immigrants, I must say. I was born in Jacksonville, but my father grew up in Bogota, Colombia, spent lots of time in Caracas, Venezuela. They're fucking shitholes. I spent like the first 2 years in my life out in the mountains out there. And the photos, it was an interesting, I mean, I can hardly remember it. I just remember riding on donkeys in the mountains and stuff. But, I was born here. My mom was an American. So because of her, he got his citizenship and some of his kids got their citizenship. My half-brothers and sisters, some of them, not all of them. That's in any country you go to, there's processes in place, and my family did it the right way, and there was some work involved. Yeah, I digress. So you can't call me some like white supremacist. My last name is Sanchez, in case you guys don't know. I just doxed myself, so there you go. What else we got? Declared a national emergency on the southern border. Declaration of border emergency, halting refugee settlement for 4 months and prioritizing border security infrastructure. Capital punishment mandates strict enforcement of capital punishment, directs the Attorney General to pursue death penalties for several crimes, and aims to overturn legal barriers against the death penalty to ensure public safety and justice. We're coming after you, pedos. Death penalty for people who rape children. How about that? Nationwide. I would support it. And I think that's where some of this is going. Definitely treason, right? I mean, it's punishable by death. Isn't that the point of it? Establishing Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Establishment of a new agency led by Elon Musk to modernize federal technology and implement the president's DOGE agenda for improved efficiency. Federal workforce changes, ending the remote work for employees, reinstating the hiring freezes, and removed employment protections for specific roles. Withdrawing from Paris Climate Agreement signals the United States' second departure from the global pact aimed at combating climate change, setting back international efforts to address global warming. End of government weaponization. The order to end weaponization of federal government with views of misconduct by law enforcement and intelligence agencies. Delaying TikTok ban enforcement. 75 grace period provided for TikTok Chinese parent company to negotiate divestiture despite legal hurdles. Clemency for January 6th defendants. End to DEI, that's diversity, equity, and inclusion, and transgender protection. Rolled back transgender protections and ended diversity, equity, and inclusion programs within the federal government, aiming to reduce social engineering of race and gender. Prohibiting federal censorship. DEI is racist. Can we agree on that? Like, if you're choosing people not by their merit, not by their accomplishments, not by their aptitude, not by their strengths, but by the color of their skin or what sexual orientation or preference they have, it's racist. It's sexist. It's choosing those attributes over the quality of someone's performance in a job. Prohibiting federal censorship. Agencies directed to refrain from limiting constitutionally protected speech under the guise of combating misinformation. Drug cartels as terrorist organizations. Why didn't we do this back in the 60s or 70s or 80s or 90s or 2000s or 2010s? Designated Mexican and Latin American criminal groups, including MS-13, as foreign terrorist organizations to bolster security measures. Duh. Addressing cost of living crisis. Administration to propose measures to tackle rising living expenses. National energy emergency. Declared a national energy emergency to expedite domestic energy production and infrastructure development, addressing critical shortages and securing national security. Could have been worded better. Withdrawing from the World Health Organization. Order for U.S. to withdraw from the World Health Organization attributed to the WHO's alleged mishandling of COVID-19 pandemic, its failure to adopt necessary reforms, and its perceived political bias. Amen. Revocation of clearances and ensuring integrity and intelligence. Revocation of security clearances for 51 former intelligence officials involved in politically motivated actions during the 2020 election, and former National Security Advisor John Bolton for improperly disclosing sensitive information. Granting interim security clearances. Authorize 6 months temporary clearances for aids awaiting federal background checks to ensure swift functionality in national security roles. Landmark renaming. Renaming the national landmarks, including reinstatement of Mount McKinley, and renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America to honor American heroes and emphasize national pride. Reevaluating and realigning U.S. foreign aid. Imposes a 90-day pause on U.S. foreign development assistance to assess its alignment with national interest and policy objectives, aiming to streamline programs and ensure consistency with American values and foreign policy priorities. Beautifying federal architecture. Directed efforts to improve the aesthetics of federal buildings. America First. The order mandates that the U.S. foreign policy be aligned with core American interests, prioritizing the nation's needs and citizens. Again, these are very common sense things, and if you're opposed to them, get the fuck out of this country. Bye. It's over. Unlocking Alaska's resource potentials. Maximize the development of Alaska's vast natural resources, focusing on energy, minerals, and LNG projects to strengthen national security, boost economic growth, and reduce trade imbalances. Here is Elon doing his speech yesterday, and the left is really upset about this, and I want to see what they're so upset about.
I am the greatest and master of all time! Strike eye!
Oh, right, that's Kung Fury. No, what actually happened, and this is really funny, this is from The Guardian, when I tried to look up the article for this. This is what we're up against. From Elon Musk to the Murdochs, billionaire owners control much of the information that reaches the public. Meanwhile, increasing number of bad actors are spreading disinformation and threatening democracy. This is not a democracy, it's a republic. Fuck you guys, this bullshit is over. The Guardian is different. Thanks to reader support, we publish free, trustworthy journalism and stay fiercely independent. Yeah, I'm not giving you guys money. So this is the kind of shit that they want you to pay for. Elon Musk appears to back-to-back fascist salutes at inauguration day. Tech billionaire wades into controversy after shooting right arm on upward diagonal during Trump celebrations. So here's the clip.
I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you.
So, yeah, there's some more context to that. Right before he did that, he was talking about, going to the stars, but is he trolling? Maybe. He is a big old troll. That's for sure. But I also just think, he's pretty autistic, which was Harrison Smith's conclusion. He has a lot of weird tics, and he's kind of a spaz. And but let's look up Hillary Nazi salutes. Let's see. Images. Oh, that's funny. Oh, this is Google for you. I saw a picture earlier. I probably have to use a different search engine because all it is Elon. Elon. Let's try Obama because I've seen these before. And then this is the Elon. Why when I search for Obama Nazi salute, they're giving me that? Let's try Clinton. Interesting. It's all, yeah. So, this is the bullshit that we deal with. I'm going to have to pull up, they had a bunch of them. Oh, here's one. Oh, look, here we go. Let me get myself out of the frame here. There is Kamala Harris being a Nazi all day long. And then there's George W. Bush. And then there is Hillary doing it. And then there's Barack Obama doing it. Like, we could play this game all day long. They mentioned today on Infowars about 6 states banning the sale of RVs in 2025. But it seems like it's some carbon bullshit that they have to jump through in order to do it. Here's the truth on that.
Viral posts like these claim some states are going to ban selling RVs starting in the new year. Verify viewer Andrea emailed us to ask if that's actually going to happen. So let's verify. Our sources are the California Air Resources Board, or CARB, RV chassis maker Volvo, and the RV Industry Association. In 2021, CARB approved a new rule to gradually increase the number of zero-emission large vehicles on the road in California, like RVs and trucks. Starting next year, CARB will require 5 to 9% of new large vehicles to be zero-emission, and that percentage will go up each year to help reduce air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. 5 other states have passed similar rules that take effect with model year 2025 vehicles. The problem, according to RV manufacturers and industry groups, is that there are no new RVs on the market that currently meet the stricter rules. So they claim this is effectively a ban on new RV sales. CARB disagrees, pointing out RV makers can buy credits to continue selling non-compliant RVs until zero-emission ones are produced. The rule also has no impact on sales of used RVs with at least 7,500 miles, nor does it impact people who already own an RV. So, no, states are not banning RVs next year. Manufacturers and industry groups say they're actively working with CARB to ensure new RVs remain available nationwide. 3 other states have passed similar rules that will take effect in later years, and other states are considering similar rules.
So there you have it. Still bullshit. We'll see how the Trump administration deals with this because, of course, this was made December 4th before he was in office. So, it's going to be really interesting to see how a lot of these little bullshit climate agreements. I mean, we're out of the Paris Climate Accord, so there's that. New large vehicles will have ion heaters. What can you tell me about corn crypto war bonds to speculate on weather as a weapon? I don't know. You tell me. Little Harp Mobile. All right. See, I actually read what's in the comments here. Female bishop lectures Trump and Vance in politicized sermon at National Prayer Service. Asks the President of the United States to protect trans kids and illegals. Let's see some clips on that.
There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families.
Speak up.
Some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt this cunt. So, what's with you Democrats and being like, we need the illegals to clean our toilets and wash our dishes? Wash your own damn dishes. And you guys can't farm? I mean, you domestic, laissez-faire little Democrats disgust me. They pick our crops and wash our toilets. What the hell's wrong? I'm going to roll back a little bit.
The people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation.
Yeah, it's a
but
crime.
The vast majority of immigrants are not criminals.
No, it's a crime.
Taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples.
They broke the law to get here.
I ask you to have
That's
mercy,
the
Mr.
only
President,
people we're
on
talking
those in
about.
our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful.
Who picked that chick to do this? This is clearly, some sort of op. Let's see what else we got here. The bipartisan interfaith prayer service got a political as pastor pleased to have mercy on the scared LGBT children and illegal immigrants.
I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops.
Right, it's the same clip, different angle. That's a better angle, though. Why are transgender children afraid? What is going to happen to them? They're not going to be conned into taking growth hormones that stunt them, that give them cancers, that make them sterile so they can't have children when they grow up and realize it was just a phase, it was just a fad, that there's no such thing as transgenders. There, I said it. All right.
And clean our office building.
Autism capital. Trump and J.D. Vance are blindsided by weaponized political sermon at the National Prayer Service. Watch their faces when Bishop Bud starts the activism. Oh, the activism.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in...
JD looks mortified. Melania looks pissed. Trump is like, are you serious? And I think so is JD's wife. Like, is this seriously happening? Is this happening right now?
Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation. But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques,
Vance has that
synagogues,
side glance down
wadara,
there.
and temples.
It just speaks volumes. It's very funny.
In the name
I think
of
I
our
have a clip of they caught a little bit of Trump's response to this. Let's see what it is.
Mr. President, what did you think of the sermon? What did you think of the sermon? What did you think of the sermon?
What did you think? You like it? You find it exciting? Not too exciting, was it? I did think it was a good service. Thank you very much.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
Yeah, no, that's great. Mic yourself. Don't mic the president, idiots. I don't know if you can hear. I can hear it. And that about does it for tonight. Oh, look at that. Right before 9 o'clock. If you like what we're doing, then, definitely consider... Really, I have to type that whole thing. darkdox.me/shop. We have a lot of cool stuff over there. And we got thumb drives with documentaries and podcasts and declassified federal documents. The whole DarkDox archive. We have films on projectors and films and podcasts on these little cool MP4 players, so you can take this stuff anywhere. It works offline when they destroy the internet one day. We'll see. But yeah, we got some nice thumb drives. We got vinyl records for my band Sacred Owls. We got t-shirts. We got DVDs. We got Blu-rays. We got comic books. We got shop rags. So definitely check out the DarkDox shop. Also, of course, thealexjonesstore.com/DarkDox. And we're doing this every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at youtube.com/Sacred Owls. So be sure to click like, smash that subscribe button, click on the notification bell, and welcome to Movie Phone. This is Christian Coffins saying, beware, take care.
This is Jersey Joe, and you're listening to the DarkDox Digest, DQ, with your host, Christian Coffins.